Hello, my name is Brock. Welcome to the East Exchange District. We're going to do a short tour today for the National Historic Day in Canada. We're at 108 Alexander, and this is Patent 5 Distillery inside. So I'll give you a little history about the building. This building was built in 1904 by the Dominion Express Company. The Dominion Express Company was a delivery company in Winnipeg. They had mostly horses and carriages. They used to go down the street, just half a block to the Alexander docks, and they would pick up the goods that had to be transported around Winnipeg. The horses would actually go in and out of these doors. At the time, the horses and wagons would come in, two big doors would open. The horses actually went up to the second floor via a large concrete ramp, and the wagons would stay on the main floor. When this stable was built by the Dominion Express Company, it was Canada's most modern stable, partly because it had electric grooming tools, which was unheard of at the time. Winnipeg was ahead of most cities, including Montreal and Toronto, in terms of how much electrification there was in the city. So let's go inside. So one of the first things you notice when you walk in is these 9.5-foot stained glass doors. These stained glass doors and a number of other artifacts that I'll tell you about were retrieved, salvaged from the St. Regis Hotel. So the St. Regis Hotel was built in 1911. It emulated in many ways the St. Regis Hotel that was built in New York, which was the finest hotel, one of the finest hotels in North America. So these stained glass doors actually separated the dining room from the kitchen. So if you look closely, you'll see that the doors actually are beaten up by the carts that went in and out for a number of years. So the wood, the stained glass, was all transported from Chicago in 1911 and assembled by hand at the St. Regis Hotel. And 3 years ago, when the St. Regis Hotel was scheduled for demolition, we made arrangements with the City of Winnipeg and the building owners to retrieve the wood. So you'll notice the wood paneling. Actually, one of the very interesting pieces are those hand-carved cherub angels on the top. So those actually were, again, hand-carved in Chicago in 1911, and we carefully removed them and set them up here in the Exchange. And a little bit about the Exchange. The Exchange, as I said, this building was built in 1904. The Exchange is a National Historic Site. 20 square blocks in Winnipeg here, and we're on the East Exchange. And between 1880 and 1820, this was the cultural and commercial center of Winnipeg, and this building would have been built right in the middle of that time period in 1904. And you might notice some of the other beautiful stained glass behind our bar, which also was retrieved. Some of that stained glass was actually originally windows that were outside, like there wasn't actually glass or wood behind them, so the light used to shine in from outside. There's corbels on the end of the bar with those small lights. Those corbels used to support the beautiful oak in the oak room at the St. Regis Hotel. And one of the other interesting pieces is the chandeliers. So those chandeliers are actually original, a very Gothic look, which was common in the early part of the early 1900s. And those chandeliers originally would have been electrified because, as I said earlier outside, that Winnipeg was ahead of many cities in terms of the amount of how much of the city was electrified. I don't know if you can see behind us, but briefly we actually have a distillery in the back of our cocktail room here. And I think that's about it. So if you're out and about, we'd love to have you visit the East Exchange. We're at 108 Alexander, Patent 5 Distillery. Thank you.